2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports denied hearing and could lose their charters next week. That is true, folks.
2311 and Front Row could lose their charters next week. The Clash returns to Bowman Gray in 2026.
6 cars, 2 big NASCAR teams, and a court decision that could kick them out in just a few days. So what really happened to put 2311 and Front Row Motorsports in this mess? It's more than just racing, it's a fight for control that could shake up NASCAR like never before. On July 9th, the 4th Circuit Court of Appeals denied a rehearing requested by both 2311 and Front Row. That ruling terminated the preliminary injunction that had protected their charters throughout the current season. In plain terms, they've lost the legal shield that kept them locked into the NASCAR Cup Series. And with a 7-day window before the ruling takes effect, their charter protections could expire as early as July 16th. The implications are massive. NASCAR's charter system, which was introduced in 2016, gives teams guaranteed race entry and access to a larger share of prize money and media revenue. Without those charters, teams like 2311 and Front Row will become open entries. That means they must qualify on speed for each event and won't receive the financial guarantees that chartered teams enjoy. This change could take effect just before the July 20th Dover race. For drivers like Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Riley Herbst, Noah Gragson, Zane Smith, and Todd Gilliland, this adds immense pressure. These 6 drivers would have to fight their way into the race weekend after weekend without the safety net of guaranteed entry. And financially, the drop is steep. Charters are reportedly worth tens of millions, and racing as an open team means a significant loss of revenue per race. What led to this situation is a legal showdown that's been simmering for months. The root of the conflict is the 2025 charter agreement proposed by NASCAR. This new contract includes a clause that prevents any team from suing NASCAR, essentially forcing them to waive legal rights if they want to stay in the sport under the charter system. 2311 and Front Row refused to sign this agreement. Instead, they challenged it in court, alleging that NASCAR's charter system operates like a monopoly and that the no-lawsuit clause is both unfair and illegal. This legal battle escalated quickly. In response to the antitrust lawsuit, NASCAR countered with a fiery legal action of its own. They accused 2311 and Front Row of acting like an illegal cartel. NASCAR claimed the teams were attempting to manipulate public opinion and pressure NASCAR through the media and legal threats. The situation became a full-scale war of words, lawyers, and strategy. Despite the recent court loss, both teams remain defiant. Jeffrey Kessler, the lead attorney representing 2311 and Front Row, expressed disappointment over the court's decision, but made it clear that this setback doesn't affect their broader case. That case, the antitrust lawsuit, is scheduled to go to trial on December 1st. Kessler remains confident that the trial will expose what they argue are anti-competitive practices within NASCAR's governance. Denny Hamlin, co-owner of 2311 Racing and a current Cup Series driver, has also made his stance clear. Even if the charters are revoked, he said the team is committed to running the rest of the season as open entries. They will show up, qualify on speed if necessary, and continue racing. That's a powerful message not just for the fans, but also for the broader garage. It signals that 2311 isn't backing down, even if the financial hit is substantial.
Yeah, listen, it's hard to win everything when there's so many emotions and this and that goes into the litigation. I've gotten a really big education on it over the last year or 8 months or whatever we've been doing this, but it's hard to win everything. But certainly we've remain committed to running our cars, whether it's chartered or open, whatever it is. We've said it for the entire season. We're going to be racing this year no matter what. We're going to have our day in court in December, and we look forward to that day.
Meanwhile, Front Row Motorsports faces its own challenges. As a smaller team without the deep-pocketed ownership that 2311 enjoys, losing charter status could have deeper consequences. With drivers like Gragson, Smith, and Gilliland relying on that security, the team may face tough decisions if qualifying becomes a weekly fight for survival. The pressure isn't just on the teams. NASCAR itself is walking a fine line. The charter system was supposed to bring stability to the sport. It offered teams a sense of ownership and a predictable business model. In many ways, it worked. The value of charters soared and team operations became more financially stable. But it also created a gatekeeping system, one that makes it difficult for new or underfunded teams to break in. Critics argue that this system favors the big players and limits competition, undermining the spirit of racing. Now, with the antitrust lawsuit heading to trial in December, NASCAR is in a precarious position. If the court finds that the charter system does indeed violate antitrust laws, it could trigger a total rethinking of how the sport is governed. That's not just a legal issue, it's a cultural one. NASCAR has long operated as a centralized power structure, where the sanctioning body holds control. A court ruling in favor of the teams could decentralize that power. And while the legal arguments are complex, the human side is simple. Teams are fighting for survival, drivers are fighting for spots, owners are fighting to protect the investments they've made. Every week that passes brings new uncertainty, not just about Dover or Daytona, but about the long-term future of how NASCAR operates. As of now, NASCAR has not officially revoked the charters. There's still time before the July 16th deadline. But with the legal path cleared by the court, most insiders believe NASCAR will make the move. If that happens, it would be one of the most significant moments in recent NASCAR history. All eyes will be on Dover. If these teams show up as open entries, it will be the first real test of how this new reality plays out. Will they qualify on speed? Will their performance drop under the pressure? Will sponsors start to get nervous? These are the questions no one can answer yet. And beyond the immediate implications, this situation could mark the beginning of a larger shift in NASCAR. A sport that has tried to balance tradition with innovation may now have to reckon with deeper structural reforms. The December trial looms large. Depending on its outcome, NASCAR could be forced to retool its charter system or scrap it entirely. What's clear is this: 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports are not just fighting a court case. They're challenging the foundation of how NASCAR is run, and win or lose, their stand is sending a message. This isn't just about 6 cars or one race weekend. It's about the future of competition, fairness, and control in one of America's most storied sports. In the weeks ahead, fans will see more than just racing. They'll witness a battle over principles, power, and the evolving identity of NASCAR. Whether that ends in reformation or reinforcement of the current system, one thing is certain: the road ahead will not be smooth, and everyone in the sport is watching closely. If you're into NASCAR drama and behind-the-scenes power moves, hit that like button and subscribe for more. You won't want to miss what's coming next.